Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another live deck profile. Today we are doing Persian GX. A lot of you guys know that I really like Persian. I didn't think I would like Persian as much as I did as a Pokemon, but that new TCG artwork, not this one, but I like this one a lot. But the other one, the non-GX Persian that came out this Boundaries Cross site, made me a fan. Like, that artwork is epic. I love that. I don't have the artwork on me because I'm not playing the card, but I wish I printed it just for the sake of showing you guys the artwork. But anyways, hey guys, Orabomb here. Today we're showcasing Persian GX deck. This is actually a really difficult deck to build. It took me quite a few days to figure out how I wanted to make this deck work. Quite a few iterations, quite a few ideas went through, especially testing versus the Buzzmosa deck that we just did yesterday. And unlike Buzzmosa deck, while Buzzmosa only plays 4 Pokemon, the majority of this deck will be Pokemon. And that's thanks to Persian's attack. So before we get into the video, don't forget to, that like button. Really liked the ice cream treat you took her to last time, but she kind of wants something salty, so maybe go out and get like a burger or some fries or something. Maybe a nice lunch date. Don't forget to hit that like button. I don't know if this is getting old yet, but I'm enjoying it. And we're gonna get right into the deck profile. But don't forget to answer comment question day for a chance to win some codes, as well as the new Boundaries Cross codes. We should be getting a bunch by the time this set comes out, or not? Yeah. 2 weeks before the set comes out. So don't forget to drop a like and answer comment question day being, what's your favorite cat Pokemon? We have Perugly in its pre-evolutions. We have Incineroar in its pre-evolutions. I guess you can count Pyroar. We have a lot of different cats out there. So what's your favorite cat Pokemon? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get right into this. We are playing for Meowth, the 70 HP Meowth, because I have 70 HP. I'm not playing Professor Elm in this deck. I guess Elm wouldn't be a bad option, but there's not enough 60 HP or lower Pokemon in this deck I'm thinking about playing, so we're not playing Elm. We're just sticking with the ball engines. But with those Meowth, we are playing 3 Persian GX. Hopefully there's no, is there a glare? I mean, kind of, like the Meowth kind of look super glary because of the colors attacking Pokemon. But regardless, Persian GX, 200 HP stage 1 GX Pokemon, not tag team, so only giving up 1 prize. There's a bit of a glare here, hopefully that goes away. With the ability Catwalk, if one of your Pokemon GX or EX were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may search your deck for any 2 cards and put them into your hand. Sorry if you guys can't read that. But this is Limitless thing. I'm gonna try to make it clear for you guys. I was just trying to read it myself and I can't read it from the camera because I'm using my phone to record, so I can't really see the camera very well. So this is really strong because if any of your, not just Persian GX, which is something I didn't actually know about until recently, if any of your GX or EX Pokemon get knocked out, you can search your deck for any 2 cards. That keeps you fairly consistent throughout the game. Obviously, you can only use this ability probably twice in the entire game at most, but regardless, it's still a really cool GX, really cool ability that keeps you consistent. The attack Vengeance is kind of like the bread and butter of this deck, which is why the deck is built the way it is. It does 10 damage plus 20 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So similar to Vespiquen, for those of you guys who remember Vespiquen, but you can only add 180 damage this way. So the max amount of damage you can do without additives is 190 damage. Obviously, it's not that great of a number, but we have some Pokemon that can help you reach numbers in this deck, as well as choice bands and stuff. So, and then we have, it's a 3 colors attack cost. We do have the new triple boost energy. I'll show you guys in a second, but we have ways to charge that up. No worries. Slashback GX is similar to Glitchxcity GX attack. You may attack and switch. Essentially, that's all it is. Pretty useful actually. I switched into Jirachis a lot, so something to keep in mind. So we're playing 3 of those Persians, as well as a one of this Persian. This is the Stall Killer. Make 'em Pay is such a powerful attack. Does 20 damage for colorless energy. You may, if your opponent has 4 more cards in their hand, you may reveal their hand, discard any number of cards you find there until your opponent has exactly 4 cards in hand. That's extremely strong because in the case of Buzzmosa, I use this against Buzzmosa a lot, right? If they have a hand full of stuff that I don't want them to have, I make them pay, and then I get to pick the cards they discard, so I keep them with only 4 completely worthless cards in their hand, which is really good against a lot of stall players, against Zoroark, against a lot of different decks. So Persian, extremely powerful. I do like having a one of Persian in this deck, which is why we're playing it like this. I would play 4 Persian GX still, but space is such an issue in this deck, as you'll soon see. So like I mentioned earlier, Persian, we have ways to put things in range of Persian, and that way is going to be using Giratina. Of course, we have Distortion Door that can put damage on the board by putting it in the discard pile. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know if this is the way, if I were to rebuild this deck, I don't know if this is the way I would rebuild this deck, because I'm playing the Giovanni engine, But I found that even with playing the Giovanni engine, having enough bench space to be spamming this card is a lot more difficult than I initially expected to do, but every time it works marvelously. Sometimes you could just play this Girautinas, put damage on the board, use Giovanni, and then even sometimes play Girautinas again on that same turn to put even more damage on the board, putting things in a range of OCO potential for Persian, and it's so beautiful when it works. We are playing a split of Mars Shadows, of course, 2 Let Loose Mars Shadow, another bench sitter that we can put in the discard pile whenever we need to, and 2 of the brand new Mars Shadow. This is the, what's it called? The Reset Hole Mars Shadow, I guess is how you say it. Some of these sleeves are really filthy. I do apologize about that. These are old sleeves. Reset Hole is actually really interesting. It is another psychic type, so searchable with treasure, with really cool ability. So instead of playing counter stadiums in this deck, I figured why not just play this Mars Shadow? Puts more Pokemon in the discard pile and does the same thing as far as getting rid of Prism Star stadiums go. Let me see if I can read this card. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your bench, you may discard a stadium in play, then discard this Pokemon. So it's another way to just put Pokemon in the discard pile while also getting rid of stadiums. And then Red Knuckle is actually fairly interesting. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an Ultra Beast, this attack does 60 more damage. I guess in hindsight, now that I'm reading that, maybe I should have used that attack more often versus Buzzmosa. A 1 energy attack that can do 70, that could put it in range of a banded hit. Actually, no, it puts it in range of regular Persian. I guess hindsight's 20/20, huh? But more importantly, it's a psychic type colorless attack that you can throw into any deck. And what is this trash on my cards? Whatever. And with a choice band, you can actually OCO Buzzwole GX, which is really interesting. Other cards we're playing, 3 Jirachi, Consistency Booster. We play Escape Boards, and it's another Pokemon we can just ditch if we don't need it for more Pokemon in the discard pile. And 3 of the brand new Dedenne GX. This is another card that keeps our engine going. We fill up our hand with Pokemon, and then we toss them all away using Dedenne while also drawing cards. Dedenne GX is the new Shaman, quote unquote. Dedenne charge is when you play this Pokemon from your hand, onto your bench, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. You can only use this ability once per turn, but you really only need it once per turn. You can discard your whole hand, and we have ways to fill up our hand with Pokemon, and then we can just discard them right away. Its attacks don't matter because we don't play Rainbow Energy, but we might go into this in a future video. Electric Turn GX is an attack that does 50, paralyzes your opponent, and puts it back into your hand. So similar to Sky Return, but you can only use it once a game, but it is a lightning colorless attack cost. It's not as easy, it's not a DC or anything like that. And then Static Shock does 50 damage as well. Another Pokemon we can put in the discard pile, and once we use it, we can use our Giovanni's supporter, which I'll go over once we get to it. They'll just put in the discard pile for us. 1 Ditto, of course, because we're an evolution deck, and 1 Mr. Mime. This is the annoying Mr. Mime that I was talking about earlier. Scoop up block means if your opponent has any damage counters on their Pokemon, they cannot return any cards attached to those Pokemon to their hand, including the Pokemon themselves, right? How's this word? Your opponent that have any damage counters on them and any cards attached to those Pokemon can be put into your opponent's hand. So there's no way to put these cards back into your hand, and that includes with Acerola. So the only way to heal them is on the board healing. It's very annoying for decks like Buzzmosa because they can't abuse Acerola or anything like that. So I am playing 3, 6, 10, 14, 16, 17, 20, 24 Pokemon in this deck. Did I count that right? 4, 8, 9. 4, 8, that's 17, 20. No, that's more, right? 4, 8, no, 4, 8, this is not 9. This is 8 plus 12, 4, 8. I'm so bad at math. I'm super tired, by the way, guys. This is like, it's like 6 a.m. when I'm recording this. 4, 8, 12, 14, 16, 19, 22, 20, 24. Yeah, it is 24 Pokemon. Cool, I counted right the first time. Dope. The 24 Pokemon, it should be relatively easy to get only 9 Pokemon down there throughout the game. And we have quite a few items that can help you do that. First things first is, as always, we have 4 Ultra Balls that, oh my god, the glare is really bad over there. 4 Ultra Balls that lets you just discard 2 cards in your hand to find a Pokemon. Once again, easy way to thin Pokemon. 4 Mysterious Treasure. We have a lot of Psychic types in that deck, so it not only does it help us discard, but it also helps us put the Pokemon into our hand. And instead of playing Nest Ball in this deck, I decided to go, excuse me, I decided to go the Great Ball route. Great Ball lets you look at the top 7 cards in your hand and put a Pokemon into your hand. So Great Ball is really useful in the sense that like you can put more Pokemon into your hand to discard with these cards or with Dedenne itself. So instead of playing Nest Ball, I've been using the Great Ball, and Great Ball is, I mean, it's been working great actually, no pun intended. It's actually been working really, really well for getting the Pokemon into your hand and discard, as well as just giving you consistency, helping you find Meowths early game. Because we're playing Jirachi, it's always nice to have a couple switches in the deck, so I am playing 2 switches. And as far as tools go, 2 escape boards. We have the Jirachi, so 2 escape boards shouldn't hurt. And let me just switch everything over so it looks nicer. 2 escape boards and 1 choice band. I really need to add a second choice band. The problem with this deck is finding the consistency to do so. I don't like going below in any of the Pokemon numbers, and all the Pokemon are good in their own way, so I don't want to drop any of the Pokemon. But you need to have this much ball search to be consistent. You need your switches so you can actually be attacking every turn. You need your escape boards as well for that reason. So it's really hard to cut anything here. You'll see later that I'm playing Fairy Energies in this deck because originally I was playing this deck with Mina, because Mina let you accelerate a Fairy Energy and then you just attach a DC and you can attack in 1 turn, which is actually kind of big in this deck. But I found that like the Mina was helpful, but it didn't help me set up my board. It didn't keep me consistent, so I just cut the Mina altogether. So there's so many cuts I want to make, but not enough room. Now this one's actually really interesting. I'm playing 4 Lily. I'm not playing Cynthia. I'm not playing any other draw supporter. Dedene's been a really, really powerful draw supporter in its own right, but I will say I'm back and forth about Lily. If I'm going to play Lily, I want to play it as a 4 of count because I want to be able to find it early game thanks to Dedenne and Jirachi. It's actually kind of really, really early to find it early game when I play 4. By early game, I mean turn 1. But the problem with it is that it's hard to use Dedenne whenever you play cards like Triple Boost that you can't get back. So that's why I'm just like, do I want to play Dedenne or do I want to play the Lily? Or do I want to play Cynthia because Cynthia can shuffle those Triple Boosts back into my hand, and then I could probably use Dedenne if I have a hand that doesn't let you have that once you shuffle the Super Boost back in or Triple Boost back in, you no longer have the Triple Boost, right? But there's also the chance that you'll draw it again, and it's kind of relatively high since we don't use the Triple Boost till late game anyways. So I'm back and forth if I like the Lily or not. With Lily, I could sometimes be drawing less cards, but I still have access to Jirachi because I don't want to use Dedenne in all the turns. But with Cynthia, I'm overall drawing less cards throughout the game because I'm shuffle drawing. And this deck is easy. You think so much with this deck thanks to Dedenne and all your ball search cards. Excuse me, guys. So that's why I'm in the air about it. The supporter line in this deck is relatively thin. 3 Giovannis just to keep 3 Guzmas to keep you knocking out the things you want to. This is another card I want to play a 4th of because we're thinning so much. Sometimes we have to ditch our Guzmas very early and then we run out of Guzmas by the time late game hits. That's happened to me more than once. So I want to put in a 4th Guzma, but once again, just like the second choice band, don't know what to cut quite yet. So I'm still in that limbo where I'm trying to figure things out. This is why I'm in the air about the whole Giratina strategy, because if I cut the Giratina strategy, that gives me more space for more stuff because I can cut more Giovanni. I don't have to play 3 Giovannis, but 3 Giovannis has been so good. If you guys don't know what Giovanni's management does, it's actually a really, really cool card. Discard up to 2 of your bench Pokemon with no damage counters on them and all cards attached to them. So it's a good way to put these Dedennes, some of these Marshadow, some of these useless cards on your bench to the discard pile, which also powers up your Persian. So it's a really, really powerful card in this deck. It also lets you cycle between Giratinas if you want to damage things with Giratina. So there's a lot of good reasons to be playing this Giovanni's Banishment in this deck. But that's where I'm in the fence, because if I remove the Giratinas, or maybe if I only play 2 Giratinas, that could be useful as well. But then I run the risk of prizing them, and that's 2 less Pokemon in the deck, which means it's harder to actually use Persian's attack for full damage earlier in the game. So I'm in the air about it, but that's going to be supporters. And as far as the energies go, it's actually fairly interesting. We're playing the brand new Triple Acceleration Energy. Whenever you attach this card to an evolved Pokemon, let me see if I can put the text on screen for you guys. At the end of this turn, this card is attached to blah, 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 blah. This card can only be attached to evolved Pokemon. At the end of this turn, this card is attached to this. This card was attached, discarded. Blah. English is hard. This attack it gives you 3 colorless energies. I guess layman's term, you can only use this once because it gets discarded at the end of your turn, but then it gives you 3 colorless energies, which means you're immediately ready to attack with Persian GX. So it's very powerful. We are playing 4 of these. It also means that the what's it called? the pressure of needing to attach every turn gets immediately gone away, because we can always get off a big attack at any point in the game thanks to triple accelerated energy. For that reason, I kind of decided to cut out on the energies in this deck in general. Only 3 DCEs and 2 fairies. We really don't need the other energy outside of against one energy or one prize attacking decks. The non-GX matchups, I guess is what I should be saying. Outside of non-GX matchups, we really don't need these. So that's why I'm only playing 5 of them. And it's relatively easy to find. Once again, we are drawing so much with the Dene that it's really easy to find these energies when we need to and just attach them and just go from there. This is why we're only playing 5, and this is the main focus. Something to keep in mind. Overall, I think this deck's really cool. There's so much potential with this deck. Persian gives you a lot of consistency. The Dene gives you a lot of consistency. Guillotines mean that you can easily spread damage throughout the whole game. There's a lot of really cool Pokemon that you can just throw into these decks, like Jirachi, Marshadow, Mr. Mime. It's easy to just throw things into this deck. You could always play even more tech Pokemon like Absol and stuff like that. If you want to play lightning energies, you could probably play like Zapdos and stuff too. Play more lightning energies and stuff like that. There's so many cool things you could do with this Persian, which is why I like this Persian card a lot. There's definitely there's a lot of experimenting to be done. This is my first attempt at Persian, and I really like it. We were playing a lot of different cards before this. No Great Balls, Acro Bikes. What else did we play? We played the Minas. We played a lot of different stuffs, and it was I just found that this was the most consistent build, so I'm gonna stick with this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you guys seen any other cool Persian GX lists that you guys like? Let me know. I'm always interested because I think Persian's really cool. I really want to try to make a Persian deck work. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Answer the comment question today for a chance to win some codes. And don't forget to hit that like button. You know that like button has been appreciating the time you've been spending with her, and she wants more time. Hit that like button. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.